Hello everyone, welcome to Channel Dot. It was a quiet Tuesday in early spring when Kevin Costner sat down with a room full of journalists. The setting was casual, the coffee warm, and the questions predictable, until one query turned the air electric. "Mr. Costner," a journalist asked, half-jokingly, "do you agree that Yellowstone is more soap opera than Western?" Kevin paused. The silence felt heavier than a stampede. For a moment, it looked as if the man who made us fall in love with stoic cowboys and vast prairies would laugh it off. But then, with a knowing smile, he leaned forward and said, "Yes, and that's exactly why it worked." Gasps and chuckles rippled across the room. But Costner wasn't being ironic, he was being honest. After all, behind the gunfights and the galloping horses, Yellowstone was a saga about pain, power, betrayal, and most of all love. It was, in his own words, the most emotionally raw Western we've ever seen. Western heroes used to be bulletproof. From John Wayne to Clint Eastwood, these men didn't cry. They clenched jaws, tipped hats, and rode off into sunsets, leaving their feelings buried beneath dusty trails. Then came Kevin Costner in Dances with Wolves. He gave us a soldier with soul, an open range, a rancher with regrets. But it was Yellowstone that broke the mold completely. As John Dutton, Costner wasn't just a patriarch, he was a man drowning in grief, rage, and the ever-tightening grip of legacy. And people loved it. Week after week, fans tuned in not just for cattle raids or political intrigue, but for emotion. Beth's breakdowns, Rip's silent anguish, Case's battle between peace and duty, Jamie's desperate need for love. This wasn't just a Western, it was a soap opera with spurs. Let's strip away the stigma. What is a soap opera? At its core, it's serialized storytelling driven by emotion. Characters evolve through conflict, drama is heightened, and relationships form the narrative heart. Whether it's General Hospital, Grey's Anatomy, or Yellowstone, the formula is the same. Beth and Rip's love story rivals any classic romance. Jamie's betrayal of his family is Shakespearean. Monica's near-death and marriage struggles with Case could anchor a daytime drama, and that's the brilliance. Yellowstone wasn't pretending to be gritty for the sake of realism, it was peeling back the layers of the Western mythos to show what was always there: pain, passion, and people fighting for what they loved. In many ways, Costner's journey mirrored the Western genre's transformation. His early career was about reinvigorating old-school heroes, but as time passed, he became more introspective. In interviews, he often spoke about wanting to explore the emotional terrain of men who were once painted as one-dimensional. It was no accident that Yellowstone was his first television series. He saw in it the chance to expand the canvas, something movies, constrained by runtime, often couldn't offer. With 5 sprawling seasons, he could slowly unravel John Dutton, show his heartbreak over his wife's death, his confusion over Jamie, his complicated love for Beth, his obsession with control. Yellowstone wasn't Kevin Costner acting out a Western fantasy. It was Kevin Costner using the Western to tell a human story. Chapter 5. Taylor Sheridan, the soap whisperer behind every great Western-turned-soap, is a brilliant storyteller. Enter Taylor Sheridan, known for Sicario, Hell or High Water, and Wind River. Sheridan writes with the tension of a thriller but the intimacy of a family drama. When he created Yellowstone, he didn't just write cowboys, he wrote complicated souls wrapped in cowboy boots. Sheridan once said, "I'm not writing about cowboys. I'm writing about America. Ranches, reservations, rich families, poor families, all trying to survive. And like any great soap opera, the drama comes from within." Beth versus Jamie wasn't just sibling rivalry. It was about identity, trauma, and the desperate search for belonging. John's war against land developers wasn't just politics. It was about holding on to memory, legacy, and the ghosts of the past. Rip's silence wasn't stoicism. It was survival. And heartbreak. Sheridan gave audiences the messy, beautiful chaos of family and fans embraced it. Chapter 6. The Beth Dutton Effect. If Yellowstone is a soap, then Beth Dutton is its fiery, foul-mouthed queen, played masterfully by Kelly Riley. Beth redefined what a Western heroine could be. She wasn't just a love interest. She was a corporate assassin, a wounded daughter, a scarred lover, and undeniably soap opera gold. Her one-liners were iconic. Her trauma, deep. Her love story with Rip, pure poetry. In one of the series' most talked about scenes, Beth, clad in a wedding dress made from a garbage bag, marries Rip in a shotgun ceremony under a Montana sky. It was wild, it was raw, it was perfectly melodramatic. Fans didn't roll their eyes. They wept. That's the power of the soap opera. It makes the unbelievable feel undeniably human. Chapter 7. Why audiences fell in love. Here's the truth. People are tired of being numb. Prestige dramas often pride themselves on subtlety, ambiguity, and restraint. But Yellowstone said, let's feel again. Loudly, passionately, even messily, and people responded. A mother slapping her son for getting her pregnant and stealing her womb? Painful. A cowboy whispering, I'd kill for you as a love. Confession. Intense. A father bulldozing a church to save his legacy? Brutal. These weren't just plot twists. They were emotional earthquakes. And audiences didn't just watch, they felt them. Chapter 8. The Legacy of the Soap. Western Yellowstone wasn't alone. Its success paved the way for a whole soapified Western universe. 1883 showed pioneer trauma, love, and loss through tear-filled eyes. 1923 gave us tortured romance, forbidden love, and Helen Mirren delivering soap-style monologues with Oscar-worthy grace. Even spin-offs like Lawman, Bass Reeves are leaning into the emotion. The Western isn't dead, it just got emotional. And in the center of it all, Kevin Costner, smiling as the genre he loved was reborn with mascara-stained cheeks and broken hearts. Chapter 9. From Frontier to Feeling So. Where do we go from here? The next decade of Westerns may look different. There might be fewer standoffs at high noon and more standoffs over dinner. Fewer gunslingers, more therapists, but that's okay because the frontier isn't just out there in the wilderness. It's inside us. It's the daughter trying to live up to her mother's name, the son begging for his father's approval, the cowboy writing poetry in his head while driving cattle. The Western never had to be macho. It just had to be honest. Chapter
10. Kevin Costner's final word at the end of that press conference.
A young journalist asked Costner, "Do you think the Western is dead?" He smiled, leaned back, and said, "As long as there's love, loss, and something worth fighting for, the Western will live. Even if it cries a little more now." And maybe that's the most important lesson. Real cowboys do cry, and thanks to Kevin Costner. They do it in front of millions with music swelling, slow motion shots, and the sound of hearts breaking louder than gunshots. Epilogue. The cowboy rides on as Yellowstone prepares to end, and Horizon gallops into theaters. One thing is clear. Kevin Costner didn't just bring back the Western. He transformed it. He turned it into something raw, romantic, real. He made space for emotion, for chaos, for soap. And in doing so, he gave the genre its most powerful weapon yet, feeling, because under every wide-brimmed hat and behind, every grizzled stare is a soul just trying to survive. And that, dear reader, is the greatest story ever told, even if it comes with a little drama. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our channel to get update news.